was shocked as I looked at the scene before me, because the one just now was my son. I desperately tried to lift the cabinet and kept praying, hoping he was still alive. But the red liquid spilling out reminded me that he was already dead. When my husband came home, he was furious after hearing everything that had happened. He blamed me for not taking care of our son properly. His words pierced my heart like knives. We, who once loved each other, had now turned into enemies. I blamed myself for our son's death, and he too was tormented by the pain of losing his child. Every day, he would stare at our son's picture, and uncontrollable tears of sorrow would pour out. One day, while I was sorting through our son's things, someone knocked on the door. I opened it, and to my surprise, it was my husband. I was shocked, because he wasn't as cold and distant as usual. Instead, he was unusually gentle. I thought maybe he had forgiven me, and perhaps we could have another child. Then he said he had met my aunt on the street. They had a pleasant conversation. I was extremely shocked, because my aunt had passed away over 30 years ago. How could he have met her? But before I could ask further, he asked if our son was in the bedroom. He wanted to go see him. In that moment, I didn't know how to respond. I froze. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door again. Hearing my husband's voice outside, I was confused. I quickly turned and went to the living room to ask what was happening. But the husband who had just been sitting there had completely disappeared without a trace. I was stunned by all of this, so I went to open the door. My husband was standing there, and he was constantly blaming and insulting me. At that point, I started questioning who my real husband was. The next day, I went to see my best friend, and I told her everything strange that had happened yesterday, but she didn't believe me. Instead, she suggested I see a psychologist. Then she turned and left. Later, on my way home, I was stunned to see the cabinet from my house on the street. I stared at it in confusion. Then, the cabinet began to shake and it fell over. To my shock, two dark figures appeared behind the cabinet, but quickly, those dark figures disappeared. I was terrified by this scene, so I rushed home. But that night, even stranger things happened. I had a nightmare while sleeping, but when I woke up, I realized it wasn't a dream at all. A horrifying scene unfolded right before my eyes.